recording. Okay, so hello all. This time tutorial is about dashboard building process. Like, because you will definitively need uh, this in to solve the weekly challenge. As at the end you are expected to submit like the link uh, for your dashboard. And so to clarify this, yes, I think uh, as you are building the dashboard using you are hosting the dashboard in Heroku, I think that yes, you can submit your GitHub plus your link for Heroku. I think that's yes, there we can see all the plotting things, yes, so that we can just visualize, but make sure you design things well so that we can. The idea of sharing the report was just like in case, because you know, in case we will not be able to access your dashboard using the link, just to have a view. But I think if you have to do a report like this will just be like copy and paste from the dashboard to the report, because most of the things actually require where we put a lot of effort, like where what we want to grab, like what we are expecting, the core things or what we are expecting this week is like more the visualization, so that now if I think if you should provide a report, it will be like there will be some duplicate work, like as you don't have enough time, like there is a lot of things to go. I think you can just skip the report for only for the final submission, because for the interim submission, you don't need to submit any link. Like you just need to submit your slide reports, so that we get the floating things doing the kind of explanatory data analysis you are expected to do. So like now, just to have an idea about where are you, what is your level of understanding, and are you starting good, like the kind of feedback we need to actually know where to help. So like now for the final submission, you will need to submit yes, the PDF file. And no, not the PDF file. You need to submit the GitHub link for where you can find your Jupyter notebook, and the Heroku link also. So I think I can make this clear in the challenge. I will go through and let me see. Final link to be okay. Talk to that include yes, exactly. So the final submission say link to your GitHub code that include your Jupyter notebook. Yes. So like yes, your Jupyter notebook, and also the Heroku link. So it will include the Jupyter. Maybe it will depend. I will discuss with Oswald if you have two submission windows, like one for the Jupyter notebook link, like the GitHub code link, and the second one for the Heroku link. Then you will submit both like in different windows. So in case we don't have both, then you will submit let's say the Heroku will be just in the report in the notebook, like as a markdown. You will provide the link so that we can just like click on that and then see your Heroku, like the dashboard. Yes. So depending on what we will design, like I'll talk with the technical team so that if we have two windows, then you will submit both like in different windows. But if there is only a submission, only one window for the submission, you will just have to submit your GitHub as usual. And so inside the GitHub, inside the notebook, you will actually provide the Heroku link. So this is simple. So I think I will notify. I will check that with the technical teams, and I will notify this in the weekly challenge. But anyhow, you can be like working. So Tide will notify you. So that's what I want to make clear on this. And now, what else I want to talk about is the dashboard building process. Like I was so definitively, maybe you may need some guidance, like how to visualize things, how to. Let me just see if I can share my screen with you so that. Yeah, it's required. So this is one of the things I have shared it. I think in the pre-assessment week. So I will come here again with that and now explain and looking at that together with your data, you may get the things like there. So I want to present, sharing my screen. So I'm about talking to I want to talk about the building process. So like design, how you design your dashboard, like the backend, because you will write Flask code and you will host your dashboard on Heroku, but in the dashboard, we need an interface, like we'll have some visual, but how do you actually design things behind what kind of information you could actually be using to make some those kind of plotting. So that's why I want to that's what I want to focus. So here is the dashboard building process. So I have done I've talked about that during the pre-assessment week, and now I am talking about that again because I know this will be helpful. So from the interface and client things and data visualization and designing and backing and data storage. So basically, you will have, I think the whole thing start where you have your data. Yeah, like you have your data in, like it could just be in a database system, or here, as your data are not like so huge, they are just like located in CSV file. So definitively, like you have a folder where you locate your data. So this is your data storage step, and then from there you will get the data for your code. Like you perform some analysis, there are some kind of plotting you will want to actually show in your dashboard, and then you will design the backend, and then you will connect now the backend with the plotting things. Like it's like you are connecting Heroku and Python, so that maybe you write some code from Python and then you display the result on Heroku. So I don't know. So depending on how you are managing, yes. So there are some process. So those process are from data storage to the interface design. So what they need to see is like what business need to see is the interface. So all the work you are managing to do behind is just like the backend process. So how do you actually manage from your data to get actually your dashboard delivered? So this is the process of the building, like from the requirement given, like you really need to know where you are going so that you can decide how to get there. So in our case, we want to do some data exploration. We want to explore the behavior of the sales. So let's say we want to explore this, and we want also to predict the sales, and then we also want to do what? We want to visualize the prediction. Yes. So we want to visualize those things, like the explanatory data analysis and the prediction. So the prediction, the machine for the prediction will actually be designed in Python, like you are using scikit-learn to run, for example, a random forest, then you get your models. And then from your model, you will actually use new data to make prediction. So where the prediction need to be visualized, so this is the dashboard part. And also for the interim solution, I know you will just submit like your a PDF file. So this PDF file you could just has been doing analysis in Python, like let's say with basic Seaborn or Matplotlib to report, but definitively like we need those kind of analysis, those kind of visualization in the dashboard. So that there will be an explanatory data analysis part, and there will be the visualization of the machine learning output, like the prediction part. And also, when you get the prediction, like be proactive, like we are providing some question to guide you. But when you are making, I told you that the core things of this week is to check about your like your visualization skills, so that when you manage to do the prediction and then you want to deploy the prediction, you can, instead of like just only give the ID of the store and the predictive value of this of the sales. Now, apart from that, you can just like imagine if you have times, because I know that this is a lot of work. So only if you have time, I think the core thing is to make sure you answer all the questions. Now, if you have times, the prediction you made, you can just analyze the prediction in all the dimension you have. So when I'm talking about dimension, I told you this morning, like in this particular case, like you can just have spatial analysis, or you can just have time series analysis, temporal analysis, so time dependent analysis. So how to extract like features like month, like week, like week number, like day number, like year, like trimester, semester from your dates, to actually have time dependent dimension, and also how to get useful information from your store. So like the spatial dimension here is more likely related to the store. So I don't know here, maybe you don't have a lot of information about the store, but what you have, you can manage to do with that. And also, yes, so that's, I think, so you have to define your requirements. So I told you, so your requirement in terms of explanatory data analysis, yes, you want to have something about that, some truth, showing things in some dimension. Yes, so you want to have some plot about that, but what are you visualizing? So your audience also, what are you visualizing? You should be like focus on the audience. So depending, I don't know how many window you will manage to create using the Heroku things for the dashboard, but depending on your audience, your visualization should just be like summarize, or like more developing, like, so if you are showing your dashboard, depending on who will view your dashboard, if it's like CEOs or general manager, or people who are not like too technical, they just want to have a quick view on the dashboard and then take some decision. Yes, so you will have to summarize things so that they will get like the the few amount of information they need to quickly take some decision. So now, if you are dealing with analysts, so you can imagine, I think by answering question, the core thing is to answer the question. If you can manage to answer the question, yes, I'm fine. But now, if you want to like be pro-creative and like to think out of the work and give some like some extra work about the visualization part, so that you get the dashboard very clear and ready to use, like attractive, relevant, hosting like all the metric necessary, all the dimension, all the the window. I think the all the necessary things, all the drill down tools, whatever you need, just manage like if you provide, this will be very, very nice. So the second thing you need to see after your requirement is the audience. So you have to question yourself. Yes, who am I going to deliver the dashboard to? Like, is it the management team? Is it my technical teams of data science? So like you will just be like you can just precise this in your notebook here. I wanted this dashboard fully be addressed to the data science team or the marketing things. Like it depends on how you manage. So depending on the level of information, the level of people you want to to deliver the dashboard, your level of information, your level of details will just vary. So apart from that, you will need to develop your metric. So about the metric, I think in this data set, the core metric is about the sales. The sales. So like this is the continuous variable we are looking for, like the sales, and we want to explore the sales. So we have the sales, but we also have the customer. So these are the idea I am giving you. Like you can think out of that one, but these are the core one, like the sales and the number of the customer, for example. So from those two, you can think about some other metric you could actually develop. Like if you take the sales and you divide the sales by the number of customer, what you will get. So instead relevant as metric, so the sales per customer. So I think yes. So like if you think yes, you could just integrate that as one of your KPI. So that you have two KPI, like you have the sales, you also have the number of customers, that means two, and you also have the sales per customer, so that means three. So just explore your data sets, and if you can think about metric like that, so three metric I think is enough for this weekly challenge, because you have a lot of dimension, you have time-based dimension, you can extract whatever you want. You can perform weekly analysis, monthly analysis, ops review, like trimestrial analysis, depending on the amount of data you have and the how long the historical data are. So like if you have 1 year data, performing semestrial analysis will not be like relevant. So you will just perform like, maybe you can limit in trimestrial analysis. I don't know. I'm just talking, depending on the kind of inspiration you will have, you will just manage. And apart from that, so like, how to say, so you have your metric, and from your metric you will actually build your visualization. So your visualization is just like your metric, but looking uh, all the available dimension. So when I'm talking about dimension, I'm talking about time-based dimension. I'm talking about the dimension about the store. I'm talking about the dimension about the customer. So depending on which kind of dimension you have in the data set, you will actually take care of the features. So you will select the features that are related to, let's say, a time-based dimension. You will actually select also the features that are related to the promotion things, like, for example. So the promotion is actually a one dimension. So like you will just think like that, so that you have a lot of dimensions, so that at the end you have your data look like a cube, like, yes, a cube, like some metric. A cube is just like one metric and a lot of dimension, let's say at least three dimension to make a cube. And now when you have one, two metric or three metric, then you will have a lot of visualization. So defining metric, yes. So sales amount, number of customer, sales per customer. If you divide the sales the number of the customer, you will get another metric. So think like that. So determining the level of the data, yes. So the level of the data. So if I'm visualizing in the time-based dimension, so at which level I want to stop, like I might stop on daily analysis, like visualizing trend and things like computing, aggregating my data per day, or am I going like in weekly analysis, or am I going in trimestral analysis? So depending on what you want. So the level of the data. So like if you want to actually visualize promotion or holidays also, so how sales are performing during, after, and before the holidays. So you have three level here. So before, during, and after. So like when you take a dimension, this dimension should have some level of data. So you define, you get your requirements, what you want to visualize. You will have like a big picture. I want to visualize this, and this. Now I want to visualize that, but I want to show that to an audience. So my audience look like this. My audience profile is that. So that now, if I want to visualize, I should take care of like summarize or provide more details. But I think for this week, the more details you provide, the best is. Yes, don't care a lot about the CEO and the fee. No, just like put a lot of data, and then you have, because if you are able to manage with a lot of data, you will be able to manage with few data. Yes. So apart from that, you will care about the metric. Yes. So you have to build a view of your metric, so the sales and the other things, and then you have to determine the level of your data. And now you will design your display. So the designing of the display, this part comes to Flask and HTML and CSS. So like in the tutorial, I know that Yabi will help about that. Emmanuel also will help about that. And I am also here to help about that. We are about also to share some, I will share also, I will look for some resources I will share with you. So how to design. So the CSS, the HTML is like the body of your text, and the CSS is like the style. So like when you look at a website today, you will see like some tests, but apart from the test, what make the test like attractive, like nice, is the CSS. Like, yes, they are the tests, but there is also the kind of formatting, choosing the colors, the session, the headers, things, the police, and those kind of things. So all this is about the CSS, and the test, the main things, the core things is about the HTML part. So CSS to format, and HTML to give the information. Let's think like that. So how to use actually Flask to actually design those things together with HTML and CSS. Yes. So this comes to the part of designing the display, because after you have think, yes, I need, for example, in my dashboard, three windows, and one will be for explanatory data analysis, the other will be for, so like when you succeed in having this big picture, you will now have to go and identify your audience and your metric and your level of data, and then you will start designing. And then once you finish design, you will test if it's working, you will share. Yes. So that's all. So I think this is the things that I continue here. So about the requirements. So this also include the platform you are going to use, and you already know that you are going to host on Ereko, using now a Flash to build the connection, like designing the things, the backend and all the things. So the level of drill down. So there are features, there are actually qualitative variables, like the promotion thing, like the holiday things, they are like whatever. So time based, everything. Like they are drill down tools. They are drill down features you can actually use. So you, if I want to filter only on January sales, yes, I should be able to do that. If I want to filter on week four, so like just think, and so filters identify important KPI to be analyzed. So all those things are like in the requirement steps. So the audience could be CEO, analysts, business leaders. So the metric now. So here I'm talking about telecommunication, but here your metric, sales. Yes. So depending on the kind of business you are managing, your metric will just vary. Yes. So the level of data. Oh yes, the level of data you want to visualize at a customer level. Here you don't have. I don't think you have a lot of information about the customer. You don't have the number of customer. So in some other data, you maybe have the segment in which those customers are, like the area they are living, like more information about the customer. Then you can visualize like this is a customer visualization, this is a product field, this is a regional field, this is a so like time field, regional field, customer field, product field. I think maybe I will design a challenge for that one so that maybe it will be yes, the communication. Maybe next week or the following. I don't know. But we will see definitely because apart from Heroku, you will have to use Tableau. Tableau. So for the two coming week, or at least for the coming weeks, I think we'll use Tableau. So this will be the opportunity to get like maybe you will be I will think about that one. So apart from the level of the data, you need to display your things, design, then your displaying. So how where to place the components. So if I want to visualize the segment, so where to place the segment. So this is the core part of the code, and this is the most difficult part. This is the things which will consume all your time. So I think I hope you will manage, and also feel free to ask questions. And people who are already introduced it to like Flask and Ereco, please share the resource. We are all here to learn, and I think share the resource. This is the kind of work we need, like working as a community instead of working alone. So you are producing the report alone, but I think by collaborating, you can get better understanding. So that's why I want you to be very proactive about even in this week, yes, because I know that the deployment things is not easy. So I advise people to share resource with each other. Some people were really doing that in the past. I was following all your message, and I saw some people was really helping in that way, and I was very happy about that. So try to do as you can, yes, and perform that. And now apart from that, you will need to deliver. So the delivery things will be the Heroku link. So next week, maybe and after, it will be Tableau or something like it could also be a Google Sheet. So depending on the tools we want, we can see how to do that. So group level dashboard. So this was the things I was talking about, like the executive view will just be like more different, more summarized than the operational view, than the analyst view. Yes, so depending on the view. I don't know if you will have time to manage all that thing. We don't need this week any professional work. Like if you can manage to do, yes, it's great. But the core things is, am I able to get in your work that you are well introduced and you know the concept and you know how to manage. At least how when you finish building your machine learning model, when you finish doing your explanatory data analysis, you split your data, you choose your model, you train your model, you define your loss function, you improve your loss function, and you save your model, and you are able to release your model to make prediction. Now, are you able to deploy your model and provide a dashboard like to deliver? All because yes, Jupyter Notebook is very useful, but dashboard format are not like really matching with Jupyter Notebook. There are another tools in R like Chinese, but it's like same. There are same things. There are whatever tool you are using. when you are able to deliver your result as a dashboard, yes, it's great. So if it's Tableau, that's good. If it's Power BI, it's good. If it's ClickView, it's also good. If it's Ereco, that's okay. If it's Chinese, R Chinese, yes, that's also okay. So I think, uh, yes, so that's exactly what I wanted to share with you. And designing the, okay, so this, you already have that. I can reshare, I can share again these things with you so that you can, so this is more about telecommunication, but yes, you can definitively use it because you have the same kind of information, so you can definitively use it to proceed. So the kind of visualization, yes. So if you want, you can just have a few on the visualization because it's very important to choose very well your visualization, your plots. Depending on the kind of the data you have, you will have to choose a plot which will match. If not, the dashboard will not be attractive. And if the dashboard is not attractive, if we cannot get the information, yes, so that means it's not really useful because we have to. The main idea behind a dashboard is to make it easier to get the information, right? To make it easier to diagnose when you have a view, instead of looking at the data when you cannot get any useful information, you will just like extract the knowledge from the data and present it as a dashboard so that when you look at the dashboard, you will just easily get the information you want. So this is the main goals of building a dashboard, and this should be very clear. If you look at that, we should be able to get the information like easily. So you can just, this can inspire you. This is more like telecommunication that dashboard, but depending on things you want to visualize, if it can help, then I'm happy. But I know I also provided in the weekly challenge. I just shared that some link because uh, I know that the deployment things will take time, so that's why the data here are just coming from Kaggle. So if data are coming from Kaggle, what is the advantage is the advantage is that there are already notebook about that. There are already notebook about that, and you can just explore the notebook. So the explanatory data analysis, for example, I think there's something about that. You can just explore and then add your touch and improve. So I think basically these steps will be like speed, and then you will focus on the machine learning and the deployment. Even for the machine learning, I think there are some good link I just share here in at the bottom of your challenge. Like I can just copy. Let me. Oh, instead of doing that, what if I just went? I just go here and yes. So from here, I want to open the link so that we can see. Yes, so the data is on Kaggle, and there you will actually get your the notebook. Yes. So explanatory data analysis. So there is something about that. Of course, I think this is R codes. Yes, this one is R codes. This is built on R. That's yeah. Is someone talking? Is someone asking any question? I think it will help us if we can see a live dashboard. Yeah, solution that have been deployed on the web. Yes, 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 yes. Definitively. Can we use open source primary dashboard to as I think as the dashboard for the for King question? I think okay, something like this. Can you share this on Slack too, so that we can look at that and discuss? So if it's, I think. This is coming from Flask also, so I can let me see. Complete the link. Visualization. Let me see. Yeah, I think. Yeah, so if there is a GitHub code, for example, for this one, yes, I think this is a good starting point. You can use.
You can go down. You can go down, Jean. You will see some kind of codes there. It's
Okay.
very interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yes. Yeah. How to use? Okay. Okay. So like this is okay. How to use? So I think this is a good starting point. What I suggest is to share this in Slack and also call Yabi Fort on that because yes, I think this is very useful. This is a very good starting point about the designing team. Yes, so share this in Slack and call my Fort Yabi Tol and I wanted to get his thought also on this. And yes, if we agree, I think yes, we can be starting from there at least to start the visualization. So this is a pre-built dashboard so that the kind of things who will just need like some, I don't know how it will work in backend, what is the amount of effort you will have to put in to make your dashboard ready. But the things is also to get you doing like if you can get the source code and understand how they make the things so that you reproduce yourself, this will be great because this is the things we want. Like you are able to design something. There is no problem if you have some templates you can inspire you could get inspiration from the template and then produce your own things like changing the colors like I don't know how to manage because but I think this is very useful. You can share on Slack and call Yabi thought I will ask him also to look at that and let me share. Yeah, I wanted to yeah, I will share on Slack and we can discuss about that also. And yes, so definitively you will see. I have some in the tutorial. I have one of the tutorial about Flask. Yes, and so how to deploy ML. So this is to ask to answer Patrick question like there will be tutorial, there will be help also. So Emmanuel will be here from tomorrow, and Yabi also will be here, and I will also be here. So we will help together with the tutor also. All of them are here and available, and together I think it's not easy, but we will put effort together and we'll make it done definitively this week. Yeah. So I think, yes, Ken, thanks so much. Share on Slack and yes, we can discuss about that later. Any other question, guys? Yeah. Any other question? Okay, so you can just continue. We can just continue discussion on Slack. I already shared the things with Yabi. I think I will ask for his thoughts. How I think can we use it? Yes. If we can at least get some inspiration like if you have the code can we actually use the core things and then like we get the knowledge about the format how can we actually produce those kind of things is that using a repo I don't know I will check it yeah okay so I think thanks for this time and that's all for this tutorial
Hello.
you will get yes is someone talking.
Yes, I'm talking.
Okay, just come on.
My, my question is this: Are
Yes.
we deploying the analysis that we did with Seaborn and Matplotlib?
Are you deploying the analysis with Seaborn? Did you say that?
That we did with, is it the analysis we did with the train data with Seaborn and Matplotlib that we are deploying on Heroku using Flask and the rest? Or we are making a
Yes.
prediction? Is there a prediction we are deploying there, or I'm
No,
just trying
you
to...
are. No, I think you are deploying all of the explanatory data analysis, the plotting things you are making. Let's say you are making the plotting things with Seaborn, Matplotlib, then you deploy on Heroku, and you are also visualizing maybe the prediction in a table, and also doing some analysis about the prediction, like all the plots you will just deploy on Heroku. I think is that.
Okay, so basically now we are going to make exploratory data analysis on the train data and then deploy on Heroku. Then we'll
Yes.
make prediction on the test data and
Yeah.
then do exploratory data analysis and deploy on Heroku.
Exactly.
That
That's the things. Yeah, that's the things. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, everyone, and let's talk another time. I want to stop sharing first, and I want to stop the recording.